Welcome to Press and Play. This is Heather, and today I am doing a frog set, but I have a bunch of things to open from Amazon, so I thought I would throw this in and do a little mini haul. It looks like kind of a lot, but you know that Amazon has packaging quirks, personality in their packaging, so they like to send things, small things in big boxes and many things spread out. So I am going to actually just open this off over there because it's a mess and I don't want to take my address off of everything. And then just pull everything up. Okay, so I just got a file set. I actually got two, just playing around, seeing what I like, and you really can't have too many, but I wanted like a bigger buffer than the little buffers I've been using. So I thought this would be something good, but it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a 100, 180, a 50, a 240, a 1,000, 4,000, 180, and then a 220, 280. So that is nice. That goes directly into my drawer for use. And then this, which I don't remember what this is, so we will open it up and figure it out. This is a nice box. Oh, it's the rhinestone picker. Yay. Okay. Yay. I actually somehow deformed the one that I have. So that was part of why. Ooh, that is a nice presentation. Look at that. I love that. Oh, I don't know. I'm a sucker for packaging, and that to me was just like, ah, ah, ah. That is fantastic. So I'm assuming it's all okay. So you've got your little pusher. Oh, and these are the replacements. Oh, okay. Okay. Super cool. Oh, it's interesting. It looks like some of the finish has come off, but that is lovely, wonderful, and fantastic. And I'm 100% excited to have it. Are they all the same? Yes, they are all the same. Okay. Cool. Very, 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 very cool. That makes me so happy. I was on the struggle bus again with something, because I always am, and it was my picker. Let me see if I can show you. Like, I even tried to sharpen it, and it just wasn't, like, it's just getting gross, and like I somehow like bent this one, and it just, yeah, no. So this, I'm glad to not have to work with it and not have to pick up like a separate tool to push things around, have it all in one spot. And it's pretty. Okay, too much time on that. We move on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I have to show you this. Let me do it so my address isn't showing. This box right here, this entire huge box that's out of frame, huge box. Huge. This was in it. This. Guys. Like, I mean, I guess it's my fault. I'm ordering from them, and I know. But, okay, this is annoying me. Hold on. It's stuck everywhere. Okay. But, like, yeah, that's a tad ridiculous. Like, just stick it in an envelope. Like, y'all. Instructions. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I got these cute little hearts. I didn't have any hearts, believe it or not. Like all the gems. I have some stickers, but I didn't have like actual like gems. And I know it's not like the time, but sometimes you just want a heart, and it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. you just feeling the love. So, and it fits a set. I was actually thinking, I kind of ordered these while I was doing my strawberry set, thinking how cute it would have been to like turn a like little heart into a strawberry and just kind of like paint a little like stem on it. And I thought that would be cute, but I didn't have them. So we move on. Like these kind of mailers, like this is easy, right? Ugh. Silliness. Yay. And more buffers, just because once again, my fingers, I was like starting to get like little cramps in my hands from like the little ones, like saying they're like, especially like the encapsulation. I've done a few things now with encapsulation, and I'm thinking using this might just save me some wrist and finger issues in the near future, and more files, because who doesn't need more files? Same kind of deal. Actually, funny thing is I had ordered these like on my last haul, my last Amazon haul, but I didn't see them, and I was like, well, I guess they didn't come or whatever. And then I found them underneath some other things in my living room, and I was like, oh, there they are. So I have more, but that's okay. Like, once again, how will these go bad? No. Will I use them? Most certainly. So yeah, another set, same kind of deal, just a different company. So oh, this is a birthday gift for someone. He's actually got a channel. I will figure out how to link it. He does makeup reviews, and a very good friend of mine. And I was wearing this for the first time out. We did a midsummer like festival, and I wore it for the first time, and it was hot AF. And I like didn't have anything to look at because you're like in nature, so I couldn't like check my makeup, and I don't bring mirrors and stuff because, you know, what are you going to do at that point if things are falling apart? But I had asked him because I was sweating and I was hot and overheating, and I was like, is my face melting off? And he was like, no, your skin looks amazing. So his birthday was this weekend, so I'm getting him I bought him one of these. I know it's not a makeup channel, but that's my other love. Well, one of my many loves. I don't know how many I have, but makeup is definitely in there. I have right over there's my vanity with like just filled to the brim with makeup. But yeah, this is if you're looking for a foundation that isn't budging, like even if you're melting. And I'm 45, so like, you know, I have my own natural heat happening on top of what's going on outside, and it did not melt off. You just have to be sparing with it because it's a cushion foundation. You can overdo it really easily. Okay, back to nails. Okay, yes. Yay. So I'm trying a new builder gel. The one that I was using, I really liked, and then I opened it up to do a recreation of a video that was just useless, and I closed it. The cap was closed tight. It was in a drawer in a dark place, and when I opened it, only like the top layer was moving and it was acting weird, and then I realized as I pushed down, it was like completely freaking hard. So I'm like, okay, I don't really know, but this is one of the ones that have like the pump. So I'm kind of hoping that that will keep it from doing bizarre things. So I am very excited about this. And then I will finish that video. It's actually the nails I wore for Midsummer. It's these guys. So I will finish that video where you can see my hard gel in that. Yeah. So, yay. That was actually the thing I was mainly looking forward to getting. Honestly, that's what started this. I wasn't really planning on ordering a whole bunch of stuff, but then I was like, but I'm here. So, and they were having like, you know, deals because they have like the early Prime deals and all that good stuff for Prime Day, which I will be doing a full haul for that. I'm hoping to get a camera. I'm really like hoping to get a camera and maybe a file, what is that? The fan, the vent that sucks the dust in. And here I got, this is another set from GAOY. And I got one that, because the price was so good to get it as a package, as opposed to just by itself. But I also got like one of their builder gels, but the kind that are in the bottle. So it's got like the base, and I've been using these nonstop and I really like them. I did use them last night to do this, and there is a little bit of a heat spike, I will say, but nothing like out of hand. Just that first minute of like, woo, but like nothing crazy. And then here's the actual builder gel in the bottle, and I thought that would be kind of fun too. Let's see how thick this is. Oh, I can feel like the resistance, like when you pull it out. Yeah, she's thick. Oh yeah, you can really feel that. That's nice. I'm really excited to play with that. Yeah, so yay for that. And then, oh yeah. Okay. So I also got a magnet set. I'm using currently basically this one mostly. I have the other one too that came with the Born Pretty, this one. I don't find this one to do shart. This one, yeah, that works, but I kind of wanted something hopefully a little bit stronger, and hopefully, you know, and there were some fun things. There were some like, there were, okay, some like fun shapes. So I thought, why not? I've been playing a lot with those, so why not experiment and see if any of these do anything. Yeah, it's like the same set, so I don't know if those are going to be, but maybe putting them together might, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't see what the difference is here, except for one has a thing and one doesn't. I don't know. But we will play with that. And then this one, I guess, is like a little dot magnet. I don't know. Gonna have to see. Is it, yeah, it is magnetic for sure. Okay. Cool. And then this for like the little flowers, and this for like a little design. I'm not really sure what that is, but we will find out. And then it looks like another daughter one, which I don't know what the difference is, but I'll have to play to find that out. I don't think there's going to be any cat eye in this set, but you know, it will be coming, so updates on that to come. All right, so I think that'll do for the haul, and I am going to get into doing some actual nails. Hello, welcome back to Press and Play. This is Heather. We are going to do the frog set. This is going to be a little bit of a long one. There's lots going on. I'm priming here, just showing you that. No buffing, just priming. But this is not a linear set. This is a set that I kind of bounce back and forth, kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing as I go. I think I've mentioned that I draw things out in a book. That was like me doing a quick look at where my idea was, which I actually got pretty close to where I was heading, but it definitely took a little bit of back and forth to get there. Here I am just putting down one color for all the nails, and I'm going to do 2 coats of this color on all of them. It will be the background for every nail. I do want to say a big, huge thank you to everyone who's watched. I've hit 50 subscribers, and that's really exciting. And I just really want to thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting. It really doesn't go unnoticed. I really do appreciate it. And it helps keep me going, because sometimes in the sets I feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But then I see that people are watching and enjoying it, and it makes me want to keep doing more. So I really thank you for that. I hope all of you are doing well that are watching this. It's been really, really hot in Seattle. It's made me a little bit grumpy, but I'm happy for the heat. I am happy for the heat. It's just at night when you can't sleep, you're like, meh. But other than that, things are fantastic. Been making sets, been drawing out a lot of ideas. So the creative juices are flowing. And yeah, I hope you are having a lovely summer. Hopefully the weather is good where you are, or you have a way to escape it if it's not. Yeah. But here I'm just running through the coat, the one coat. This is a Modelones color that was in a set, which I went looking for this set for the description box in another video, and I couldn't find this exact set. So I put in that one, and I'll find it and do it again. One that I think is really comparable. It's a big set. It was like the first set I bought, so it had a lot of colors in it. Good place to start. Also, I wanted to challenge myself. So if there's any ideas for a set that you'd like to see me try, I mean, really everything I'm doing is new, so it's not like I'm not challenging myself every time. This set for sure was making things I've never made before. But if there's something you want to see me attempt, or if you want to throw some inspiration out there, I'm open to it. I can't promise it'll be exactly what's in your head. Half the time it's not exactly what's in my head either. What ends up being like the final result. So here I'm just making a little cow print. Just taking one of the big ball tools and just splotching on some, it's like a sparkly brown. It's the same brown I used for the soda. But it's kind of hard to see the sparkles. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't, but mainly I just wanted a brown, a solid brown, and this is what I had. The other browns I have are kind of like jelly-like, or they've got too much shimmer, or they're just not quite right, but that felt like a good cow brown. And what I'm using here, I was just trying to use what was on the little cap I peeled off, is one of the Born Pretty art gel liners, or art gels. I use them a lot. And I will tell you, they are really nice to work with. and you can build a little bit of height with them if you need to. The only thing is painting on like the 3D gel. They kind of, everything actually on that clear 3D gel looks almost jelly-like, and you have to build it up. I realized, especially while editing and looking at what I was doing, I need a white 3D gel, so I ordered one to play with to see. It's the one that starts with a J, and it's just like a whole bunch of letters that, like, there's no, like, I don't know what they're trying to say with it, if it's like something that, if it stands for something, I don't know, but when I get it, I'll show it to you. I think if you've looked on Amazon and you've looked in gel polish, you know exactly which company I'm talking about. It's like RAR, RAR. I don't know. It's some interesting, not very catchy name. So it must stand for something. I don't know. But here I'm doing a bandana. I'm trying to do some paisley. It takes a little bit to kind of get down where I'm actually heading with it. I do have some paisley like prints as a reference up in front of me on my computer. So I'm just taking inspiration. I like where it got. I always want things to be so much more detailed than I can do, but I still attempt to get there because I figure eventually I'm going to be able to get more detailed as I have more control over my paintbrush, because I don't really have as much control as I would like to over my like fine details. So that's, I think, a growth thing and a amount of time doing something, just getting more time, more experience under my belt. But it doesn't stop me from trying and then wiping it off and trying again, as you see. So, but yeah, I figured the dotting tool, get my circle down, and then drag out with my fine brush to create the tail. We'll create those kind of like sperm-like paisley things. You know what I'm talking about. And there's definitely quite a bit I have cut out of this video. It took me hours to do this set, hours, because there were so many components. So even though this is a long video, it is shortened quite a bit. So I do some of the things that like I try a bunch of times, I just show you the final try because you would be here forever. So, and I don't mind that, but I don't think most people want to watch a 4-hour video. I think 1 hour is like really, I think 30 minutes for a lot of people is pushing it. So this being an hour video with a little mini unboxing is probably like stretching that limit, but you'll have to let me know if you like long form. I kind of figure as I go, I will make shorter videos and longer videos. Some things you can't shorten too much or you just miss the whole thing. And like something like this set where you've got, you know, hand painted small detailed elements and sculpting with 3D gel and the 3D like liner gel to create elements in it. It's next to impossible to make that like a 20-minute video unless you just do like one nail, which I'm doing a full set. So I hope you like a longer video, but I'm open to suggestions as well on that. I mean I'm making these videos for you, I mean partially for me too because I like doing it, but I'm making them so that you know you enjoy watching them. So I would definitely want to hear your opinions on it, if it's something that you enjoy or nah. A lot of the detail work I do in the cleanup like this. I couldn't quite get it where I wanted, and so I just decided to clean it up and create the shape in the cleanup. working a little bit backwards, but you know, if you get there, right? And just so you know, in all of these nails, there's a ton of flash curing that I do cut out. I leave a little bit in there just as like kind of like a, hey, I'm doing this. But there's a lot of flash curing that it's edited out for time. So just so you know, because I know I have to wipe off a lot of things, and it's just a security blanket for me to know that if I got one part of it right, then at least the next won't be, you know, a hot mess when I try to wipe it off. And here I'm just adding a little detail on the inside to create that, a little bit more of that paisley look. And I don't know if you noticed me wiping my brush. I don't use acetone or alcohol on my my liner brushes, or my brushes that I consider to be my good brushes right now. I only use like a top coat or a base coat, and I just kind of either like squeegee it off, or I use that gel to clean it, just to keep them as healthy as possible, as long as possible. I don't want to have to keep buying things that I've already bought. I will level up at some point, but we're not there yet. So for now, those are the brushes that are being really taken care of. Here is my attempt at cowboy hats. I've never drawn or painted a cowboy hat in my life, so I really was fully winging it here. I mean, honestly, I've never drawn a frog or even cow print before, so everything was new. But this was my attempt at like a kind of a cartoony cowboy hat. So I tried this ring palette. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to make things easier for me. It's my habit is to go and pick up from either a palette or from my silicone mat in front of me. So I will play with it again and see, but it just, when it's out of your habit, it feels like more work. And considering how much I had to do on this set, I was like, let's not do extra. Let's not make my brain try to work on some other new thing while all these other new things are happening. Let's focus the brain power so I don't put things upside down, or you know how I do. So I just kind of was like, we'll try that again on a more simple set. And here I'm just mixing a little white with that brown because I want to create some highlights so they don't look so flat. Which definitely made a difference. But I add a little bit of highlight, and then I will also mix a little bit of black with some clear, just to kind of water down that black to make some shadow. I think like part of it was trying to figure out where the light source would be coming from to create the highlight. So I was sitting there looking at it for a little bit, just like, because it's not exactly something real. So, and it's like, so I just picked an area. I'm like, okay, the light's coming from right there. But you definitely need that depth, I think, in something like a hat. Otherwise it just looks like a bumpy blob. I do apologize for the blurry camera again. I don't know exactly how to solve it. Even when I'm kind of where I think I should be, it'll just focus on the closest thing to the camera, and other than having really short brushes, I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's the same if you can set it when you have a normal camera as opposed to using your phone. I guess if I end up getting a camera during the Prime sale, I will find that out, but it's a little bit frustrating. Like, I don't mind editing things out for time, but like editing things out because they don't show or they're blurry, that's a bummer. I really don't like that. So I'm also open to suggestions on that. Anybody that's filming with their camera and has figured out the magic to having things stay in focus, I would love to hear. That would be like super amazing. That's one area I just don't feel like I'm progressing very much in. I don't know. Here I'm just making the rim of the hat, or not the rim, the like little ribbon that would be around the cap part. And I want to incorporate the colors that are in the rest of the set into that. So I use that green that will be on the frogs and the pink that was in the bandana to bring it in together, make it cohesive. Here I'm using 3D gel. It's the same one I've been using. And this definitely, since it was so warm, got stickier than normal. I definitely noticed a difference. It's a lot cooler in my basement, which is where I film, but it's still, like, I could tell like it was behaving a little bit differently with the heat. So something to note if you're playing with it. I really still like this gel, though I really need a white one. I think because it's hard to see what you're doing when it's clear, which, I mean, it's clear, so that all makes sense. But having something like you'll see, I make eyeballs out of it, to stick in, like for the frog face, and I can't tell when they're in that they're not the same size, just because it's really hard to see them. So I'm looking forward to playing with some of the white molding gel. I think that will make some things a lot easier. And here I'm just rolling out little bits. I'm going to cut some from this little sausage and create the eyes, and I'll roll those as well and make them nice and round. So you could tell it's stickier than the last time I used it. Wasn't doing that, wasn't sticking to my fingers. And here I'm just using a dotting tool to kind of carve out or push in those sockets, so I can pop those little eyeballs in there. So I'm using the from the same set, the green from the Born Pretty art gel. And you saw with that pink, it was so opaque on the nail, but the minute it gets on this on this 3D gel. It's like a jelly color, which could be great for flowers, but when you're actually trying to, you know, create an opaque color, I mean, I could have probably painted it with white first. That would have probably done the trick, almost like priming it. But here we are. I just end up doing 2 coats. I'm not sure if I even show that, like, the difference between coats. I think I edited out me, well, I know I edited me curing, but I don't know if there's a clear distinction between, but there are 2 coats of this color on the frog face. I want it to be the color that's on the brush. That's like the ideal. Didn't quite get there, but it still got pretty, it got opaque enough for me to leave it alone. Let's put it that way. But I would say normally this gel, this art gel is great. It's very opaque, so if you were going to use it for other things, I wouldn't have anything to say about it. Just on a clear, it's just, I think it's the gel. I don't think it's, or the builder gel or the molding gel. I don't think it's the fault of the liner gel or the art gel. But I get pretty close. And as you can see, that's the second coat, so it's definitely making a difference. Here I'm just doing a little cleanup. Some isopropyl, yeah, we're not saying that right, alcohol, and I'm cleaning it up and just making her neat and tidy before we move on to the white for the eyeballs. I end up cutting like a good portion of that out because I was just clearly out of frame, just somewhere else, because, you know, we're not filming, we're just painting, it's fine. I get into my little la la land and I'm way off. But I do 2 coats of this as well on the eyeballs and clean it up with the isopropyl alcohol. I think I said it right there. Yes. And then so the eyeballs are kind of a work in progress, and you'll see because this frog's gonna make many visits during this video. I'm doing the cheeks now. I'm doing the same pink that I used for the base of the nails, and just doing just cute little dots, little rosy dots. But there's times where I just have to set this guy aside and then come back to him and move on to something else and then come back, because I'm not sure where I'm going. I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure, so I end up like putting them down and then picking them back up, which I think is totally fine. And I start off with one type of eyeball and then I move on. So he's going to evolve throughout this video. He's going to get more clothing, he's going to get some different eyeballs. Here I'm trying with a mouth. I originally I kind of made him like a frog mouth, you know, a huge mouth, but it just wasn't hitting for me. So I was like, no, let's try it a different way. It's a cartoon frog. It doesn't have to be quite exactly the way a frog would be. So I did play around a few more times with different mouths before I land on the mouth that I want. And that's definitely not it. Not it. I mean, it could have been cute. I could have left that. But it just, you know, it wasn't right. Something was not giving me the cute vibe that I really wanted out of that guy. And that's cuter. I don't know if I ever was completely satisfied with the mouth, but at least he was still giving me like the cute vibe that I wanted. Here I'm taking some of the 3D liner gel and I'm going to create his bandana with it. I thought this would be a lot easier to control than trying to do it with the 3D gel, especially because it was a bit on the sticky side today. So I thought I'll just build it up with this and go from there. So I'm just making a triangle that kind of hugs around his where his neck would be up into his head, and bring it around and tuck it kind of underneath, and then we are going to paint it with the same color I used for the paisley like bandana on the French. And I really like the combination of pink and green. It's such a nice, happy combination. So working with it was lovely. Really enjoyed that. Especially that like kind of fuchsia-ish pink with that lime green. Kind of neon-y lime green. Just, it's just such a nice color combination. And here I'm creating a little mini paisley. I'm feeling brave not flashing that. There I'm actually just going with it, just moving right along, no flashing. Crazy lady. So this I'm going to actually make the body of a frog. And I do apologize. Some of it had, it was just blurry. It was just so blurry you couldn't see what I was doing. So I will try to describe some of the things that get cut out of this. But first I'm making almost kind of like a cone teardrop-y shape for like the initial roll just before I even set it down. And then I'm patting it down, creating a little bit more of a triangle at the front, a little bit flat at the back, and flattening out a little bit of the top towards like the face. And then what I've done is to create the back legs, I have pushed the clay in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to describe this right, but basically I pushed in to create like a separation so it looks like its legs are coming out like near the back of its butt, and then its knees are coming up towards the middle of its body, if that makes sense. So I'm pushing it in with the tool, and then I'm flattening on the sides to push it back into itself so it kind of bubbles up those knees. I hope that's making sense. Here I'm taking some of that liner, the 3D liner, the clear one I used on the bandana, and I'm having the arms, the front arms, come off towards like the head, closer to the middle of the body, and touching the nail. And then I'm doing some little dots for the little, you know how some of like the cartoony-ish frogs, they've got like the balls at the end of their toes. So I'm not connecting them. I'm just putting just dots kind of free floating off to where like its feet would be. It's more of a suggestion of a foot really than an actual foot. And it's blurry, of course, but I wanted to leave something in there because just so you see kind of where I'm going with that. And then I'm also creating the eyeballs with that. I thought I might have some better luck with getting them closer in size using the 3D gel, the 3D line gel, as opposed to the sculpting molding gel. And then I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup and reshaping that one. I'm quite happy with how this little guy came out. He's really cute, so not bad for my first animal sculpture. He's still cartoony, but he's got like a little bit more of like a closer to a real frog body than, you know, my cowboy frog on the other nail. And same thing here, just using that green to paint his body. He does get 2 coats of this as well. I did have better luck getting more a more opaque coverage with the liner brush than I did with the flat brush. So I think that it just distributed a little bit more. So that helped. He's starting to come together. I think he's really cute. It's definitely my favorite part of this set. My daughter saw him. I sent her a picture of it. I sent her a picture of the whole set. And then she's like, "Can I have some close-ups of the little frog?" And I was like, "Sure." And I took a bunch of pictures, and she's like, "I love him. I'm naming him Fernando." It's like, okay, got Fernando the frog. So everyone, I'd like you to meet Fernando the frog. And I think I'm gonna have to watch when I store him that he stays where I put him, because I have a feeling somebody's gonna be sneaking off with my frog. I might have to make another set of these for my daughter. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a bribe of some sort. I'm not too proud to bribe her. Like, "Oh, you want a set? Living room's looking a little crazy right now." Is that wrong? I don't think it's wrong. Anyone who has kids probably knows. You're like, okay, it's all war. What are your strategies here? Bribery? It's fine. I really don't mind making her sets. She's like my best customer. Not that she pays, but you know. But she is the one that wears my nails the most. And I'm just painting those little toesies, these cute little ball toes. The nice thing about using this liner gel is if I didn't get the ball high enough, I can actually add some height with that gel. So that's pretty fantastic. And here I'm just painting white on the eyeballs. They should have probably put a lid on, huh? But that's kind of the cartoony point, right? but they have lids. They blink. I know that they actually, I think it's they blinking helps them swallow. So I definitely know they blink. I learned that fun fact from my son. He's all about like random trivia, which I so love. He's always coming out with like some sort of like, did you know? And the frog thing was one of them. I was like, really? I was like, okay, I need to fact check that. And it's true. They do. They blink and helps them swallow bigger things than they normally would be able to. So I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, maybe I should have put eyelids on. Hindsight's always 20/20. Or 20/20, 20/20 if you have no eyelids. And here I'm just playing again with those eyes because they weren't doing it for me. So I wanted more of a cartoony look on those eyes, and they were looking a little bit hypnotized or something. So I wanted to add a little bit of like a white reflect into the eye to give it more of that cartoon look. And I will say it is bothering me how much of a size difference there are between the eyes, but not much I could have done about it once I saw it. Like once I painted it and really saw it, I was like, I'm not going back. He's gonna be a little bug-eyed. It's gonna be just fine. And I'm just working on him in between Fernando curing. There we go. That really, just that little detail makes such a difference. Here I decided to do an entire paisley nail. I thought that would be really cute because it would tie in the French and also the bandana on the frog. Just a little cleanup. And doing this pattern is kind of fun. You get into a rhythm with it. What were those things that were like really popular for a while? I want to say they started with like a Z, and I can't remember. They were like like everything was like a fun pattern and you colored them in. I would make them on my own, but not get a book for it, just create things like that. But there's a certain name for them to like do adult coloring. I can't think of the name of it, but I do know it starts with a Z. That I do know. If you know, just put it in the comments and tell me, because I can't remember. But it gives you that same vibe. You just kind of zone out and get into it and into the design, and it's really fun. I mean, anything with a dotting tool, how can you go wrong? You can definitely get carried away, but it's still really fun to do, so it doesn't matter. So just to set the scene, it is hot out and I have my windows closed, so it's as quiet as possible while I do my voiceover, and it's starting to bake in here. I am like starting to just schwitz. I'm very much looking forward to opening my windows and turning my fan back on. but the nights have been absolutely beautiful if you're sitting outside. If you're in the house, not so much because it doesn't really cool down, but just sitting outside before the bugs start eating you is just beautiful. I had like all these birds in my backyard right around sunset, and they were all going crazy, and it was just like so many different types of birds making all these amazing sounds. I felt like I was in like some sort of tropical paradise in my backyard. It was amazing. Okay, back to the frog. So I'm making a cowboy hat. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. I almost chickened out of it. But I was like, no, he needs a cowboy hat. And plus I need like continuity with the pinky nail, having the cowboy hats, like just this random pinky nail cowboy hats. Like, go with your plan, which was to put a cowboy hat on. So I said, no, we're not chickening out, we're doing it. So I decided to do it with the 3D liner gel. And I definitely think that was the way to go. That was the move. Because I don't think I would have been able to get it as detailed with the regular like molding gel. And I do some building up on it that I have to cut out because it ends up blurry. But first I do the initial swoop of the brim, and then I do the actual inside of the cap, and then once I'm happy with that, I build up the brim a bit more so that it's sticking out from the other part of the hat. And then I'm just cleaning up the texture, making sure it's smooth, so when I paint over it, it's not lumpy and bumpy in places I don't want it to be lumpy and bumpy. And while that's curing, I thought, dots, more dots. So I decided to add some dots to the cowboy hats, which I'm happy with. I think that looks really cute. Just added that little something. It needed something, and dots was it. So that's what they got. I like that. It works for me. And then I'm just painting with that same brown that I actually made the other cowboy hats with on this 3D cowboy hat. And you saw how dark that was, and even on this it kind of starts to look a little bit more like a jelly. You have to build it up a bit to get that depth of the color if you want it to be dark. There, I'm doing a little pink line for the ribbon. And the set is ready for some top coat. If you have made it this far, would you put a frog in the comments? Just so I know if you've actually come all the way here, because I know this was a long video. I'm just curious to see if you've made it this far. And if you have, big thank you for coming with me on this long process. I really like how this set turned out. I think it's really cute. Completely random, because cowboys and frogs, I mean, why not? One of the many random things that pop into my head. But I like it. I think it works. I think it's a good combination. think maybe I know where it came from in my subconscious thinking about it. There was a Muppet movie, wasn't there, where Kermit was a cowboy? I think there definitely was. I think it's like the Muppet movie. He was a cowboy for part of that. With Frog Hopper, like he wanted to make frog legs. That must be where that came from, popped out of my subconscious. This is the finished set. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stuck with me to the end. A big, big thank you if you did. And I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.